In today's video, we'll uncover the lesser-known, darker side of Vietnam. So, buckle up and get ready for an eye-opening journey. Vietnam is a Southeast Asian country located on the eastern edge of the Indo-Chinese Peninsula. It shares its borders with China to the north, Laos to the northwest, and Cambodia to the southwest. The eastern and southern boundaries of Vietnam are lined by the South China Sea, giving the country a long and beautiful coastline. Vietnam is well known for its diverse landscapes, from the lush green mountains in the north to the fertile deltas in the south. Covering an area of approximately 127,882 square miles, 331,210 square kilometers, Vietnam is slightly larger than the state of New Mexico in the United States. As of 2023, the population of Vietnam is around 100 million people, making it the 15th most populous country in the world. The population is predominantly concentrated in the two largest cities, Ho Chi Minh City, formerly Saigon, in the south, and the capital city of Hanoi in the north. Vietnam's rich history, cultural heritage, and geographical diversity make it a unique and intriguing country, but it also has its share of challenges and dark aspects that are important to explore and understand. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel if you're enjoying the video. 10. Taboos in Vietnam culture. Head touching. In Vietnamese culture, the head is considered the most sacred part of the body. Touching someone's head, especially without permission, is seen as very disrespectful. This belief is deeply rooted in the idea that the head is the seat of the soul and intellect. Avoiding head touching is important not only with adults but also with children. Even a gentle pat can be perceived as intrusive and disrespectful. Pointing. Pointing at people or objects with your index finger is considered impolite. Instead, it's better to use your whole hand or fingers together to gesture. This taboo extends to pointing feet at people or religious objects, as feet are considered the lowest and dirtiest part of the body. Giving sharp objects as gifts. Giving gifts like knives or scissors is seen as a sign of cutting off a relationship. These items symbolize severing ties and can bring bad luck. If you do receive such a gift, it's customary to give a small amount of money in return to buy the object, thus neutralizing the negative connotation. Eating and drinking etiquette. It's considered rude to leave chopsticks sticking upright in a bowl of rice, as this resembles incense sticks used in funerals and prayers for the dead. Similarly, tapping chopsticks on a bowl or using them to point is frowned upon. Proper chopstick etiquette is essential in showing respect during meals. Talking about politics. Openly discussing political matters, especially criticisms of the government, is a sensitive and often dangerous topic. Vietnam has strict laws regarding freedom of speech and political expression. Avoiding political discussions in public or with strangers is advisable to prevent misunderstandings or legal trouble. Foot placement. Placing your feet on furniture, especially tables and chairs, is considered very disrespectful. Feet are seen as the dirtiest part of the body and should always remain on the floor. Additionally, pointing your feet at people, altars, or religious statues is considered extremely rude. Public displays of affection. While younger generations are becoming more relaxed, public displays of affection, such as kissing or hugging, are still generally frowned upon in traditional Vietnamese society. It's best to keep affectionate gestures private to avoid unwanted attention or disapproval. Superstitions and numbers. The number 4 is considered unlucky because it sounds similar to the word for death in Vietnamese. Avoid giving gifts or anything in sets of 4. Conversely, the number 9 is seen as lucky, symbolizing growth and eternity. Using this number can bring good fortune. Talking about death. Discussing death or making jokes about it is highly inappropriate, especially in social or family gatherings. It is believed to bring bad luck and negativity. During conversations, it's best to avoid this topic unless it's necessary and to approach it with sensitivity. Using the left hand. Using the left hand for giving or receiving items is considered impolite. The right hand is preferred as it is associated with cleanliness and respect. In formal situations, always use your right hand or both hands to show politeness and respect. Dark side of Vietnam. 9. Agent Orange and its lasting impact. Agent Orange is a harmful chemical that American troops sprayed during the Vietnam War from 1961 to 1971. This chemical contains dioxin, one of the most toxic substances known, and was used to destroy forests and crops to deprive the enemy of cover and food. Unfortunately, the dioxin in Agent Orange caused severe health issues for millions of Vietnamese people, including birth defects, cancer, skin disorders, and neurological problems. The chemical still contaminates the soil and water in many parts of Vietnam, making plants and fish toxic. Even after decades, the effects of Agent Orange persist, affecting new generations. Almost 4.8 million Vietnamese people have been exposed to this chemical, with about 1 million suffering from various diseases. Tragically, around 192,000 of these affected individuals are children born with severe birth defects. Despite some efforts to clean up the contamination, experts believe it could take 6 to 12 generations for the dioxins to subside. This enduring issue continues to be a painful reminder of the war's devastating impact on Vietnam. 8. Human trafficking. Human trafficking is a severe problem in Vietnam, making the country a trafficking hub in the region. Traffickers often lure victims with promises of well-paying jobs abroad, only to force them into illegal labor, sexual exploitation, or even the human organ trade once they leave the country. From 2018 to 2022, Vietnamese authorities reported around 440 cases of human trafficking, highlighting the widespread nature of this issue. Victims, often desperate due to unemployment and poverty, fall into these traps and find themselves in dire situations without their passports or any means to return home. The Vietnamese government has made efforts to combat human trafficking, rescuing over 800 victims since 2018. Despite these efforts, the problem persists, driven by economic hardships and the cunning tactics of traffickers who prey on the vulnerable. 7. Dating and travel scams. Vietnam's vibrant nightlife, especially in cities like Ho Chi Minh City, is a major attraction for tourists. However, it also harbors numerous scams targeting unsuspecting travelers. One common scam is the bar girl scam, where beautiful women working in clubs approach tourists, ask for expensive drinks, and share tragic stories to elicit sympathy and money. These women often work on commission, leaving tourists out of pocket and disillusioned. Another prevalent scam involves online dating and travel arrangements. Scammers contact foreigners via social media or dating sites, build a rapport, and invite them to visit Vietnam. They then offer to handle travel arrangements, requesting payment in advance. Once the money is sent, the scammer disappears, leaving the victim stranded. Such scams highlight the need for travelers to be cautious and vigilant when interacting with strangers in Vietnam. 6. Pickpocketing and theft. While Vietnam has a relatively low crime rate, theft, especially pickpocketing, is a significant issue, particularly in tourist hotspots like Ho Chi Minh City, Hanoi, and Nha Trang. Petty thieves often operate in crowded areas and poorly lit streets, targeting distracted tourists. These thieves work in groups, with some distracting the victim while others snatch valuables. Pickpocketing gangs are highly organized, using various tactics to catch their victims off guard. For instance, children may approach tourists asking for help or selling trinkets, only for an accomplice to steal from the tourist while they are distracted. This pervasive issue underscores the importance of travelers being aware of their surroundings and taking precautions to protect their belongings, especially in crowded or unfamiliar places. 5. Chaotic traffic. Vietnam's traffic is notoriously chaotic and considered one of the most dangerous in the world. With around 30 traffic-related deaths each day, the roads can be perilous for both locals and tourists. The primary reason for the hazardous traffic conditions is the general disregard for traffic rules, which are often seen as mere guidelines rather than enforceable laws. Motorbikes, cars, and buses frequently ignore traffic signals, and the roads are filled with swerving vehicles and pedestrians trying to navigate the chaos. Crossing the street in Vietnam can be a nerve-wracking experience, especially for newcomers. The common advice is to step into the road and walk steadily to the other side without stopping, trusting that the motorbikes will maneuver around you. This method, while effective, can be terrifying for those unfamiliar with the traffic patterns. The lack of proper infrastructure and pedestrian pathways further exacerbates the situation, making it essential for visitors to exercise extreme caution on the roads. 4. Discrimination and stigma. Despite progress in many areas, discrimination and social stigma remain significant issues in Vietnam. Ethnic minorities, LGBTQ+ individuals, and people with disabilities often face prejudice and limited opportunities. Discrimination in the workplace, education, and social services can hinder their ability to improve their living conditions and fully participate in society. Social stigma also affects those suffering from mental health issues, leading to a lack of understanding and support. Many individuals are reluctant to seek help due to the fear of being judged or ostracized. Efforts to raise awareness and promote inclusivity are ongoing, but changing deeply ingrained societal attitudes is a slow process. Addressing these issues requires continuous education, policy changes, and community engagement to create a more accepting and equitable society. 3. Environmental pollution. Vietnam faces significant environmental challenges, including air and water pollution. Rapid industrialization and urbanization have led to increased emissions and waste, contaminating the air and water sources. Major cities like Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City often experience severe air pollution, causing respiratory problems and other health issues among the population. Water pollution is also a critical concern, with industrial waste, agricultural runoff, and untreated sewage contaminating rivers and lakes. This pollution affects not only the environment, but also the livelihoods of people who depend on these water sources for fishing and farming. The Vietnamese government has implemented various measures to combat pollution, but enforcing regulations and raising public awareness remain challenging tasks in the fight for a cleaner and healthier environment. 2. Economic disparities. Despite impressive economic growth and poverty reduction, Vietnam still grapples with significant income inequality. While urban areas have seen substantial development and an increase in the middle class, rural regions often lag behind. Many people in rural areas continue to live in poverty, with limited access to education, healthcare, and economic opportunities. This disparity has led to internal migration, with many people moving from rural areas to cities in search of better jobs and living conditions. However, this migration often results in overcrowded urban areas, strained infrastructure, and social challenges. Addressing these economic disparities requires targeted policies to promote rural development, improve access to services, and create sustainable economic opportunities across the country. 1. Drug addiction. Drug addiction is a growing problem in Vietnam, particularly among the youth. The use of synthetic drugs, such as methamphetamine, has increased significantly in recent years. Drug addiction not only affects the individuals involved, but also their families and communities, leading to social and economic problems. Thanks for joining us on this journey into the hidden corners of Vietnam. We hope you found this exploration as enlightening as we did. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell for more intriguing content. Have any thoughts or questions? Leave them in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you.